How you doing? I'm Big D. Thanks for stopping in and spending a few minutes of your day with me. Now, to everyone out there holding silver right now, physical silver, not the fake paper silver. Fake paper silver is not going to do anything for you, especially if the banks crash and tell you that sorry for your bad luck, but we don't have your silver, and you're probably not going to get your money. Not that that would happen, but why take chances? I do believe it probably could. Now, we're watching rules changing drastically as silver hit over $94 in just the last hour. It's closer and closer to that insane, incredible, yet it's the number that we all could believe, and that would be $100, triple digits. It's easier to believe now at over $94 an ounce. Will it stay at $94? Probably not. They're finding a way right now to smash it down with derivatives, with fake paper silver. You know what I'm talking about. Now, the CME has changed the rules. And that's why for today's show, they've changed the rules again. Now, a couple of months ago, or about a month ago, I was talking about going to see the COMEX and regulators to try to suppress the silver prices. Yet everything they do, it's not working. They're not able to keep it down even when they smash it down for a short period of time. It's pushing back on them. And the latest change right now in the CME has changed into margin calculations from a fixed dollar amount to a percentage base. Now, right now, gold is being changed to 5% and silver to 9%. The CME is growing more and more worried about the risk of one of the largest short sellers, blowing up as the price rapidly expands. I believe what we're seeing personally, and this is something that goes back to a theory that I had several years ago when I first got into this, seriously got into it, based off of something I learned over a decade ago, is that nations are going to get together and run the prices of the certain commodities up, and they're going to stop buying or start selling U.S. bonds in an effort to destroy the U.S. market. I believe that's been going on for quite some time. China's been dumping the U.S. Bonds for quite a while now. I believe that that is happening right now because the physical precious metals is not moving inside the United States like you would expect in the previous run-up of silver prices. One before that, during the Great Recession, there are not lines out the door. There are some panic buying right now. Panic because we're watching on the financial news, and they're saying that silver going up today, it's just going to keep going up and then get smashed back down. And those that panic, last minute people, just that move is just like real estate in 2005, where everybody started selling instead of holding on, and they lost a lot of money. But is there plenty of silver everywhere? Every store that you might be around locally, when I go and check to see if they have silver, they don't have much, if they have any at all. There's only one or two stores that I trust that have ability to get some more. But it's just a quest that I was going forward with to get a little detail if anybody had some, so I could relay it to you. But I'm not finding the silver that I was finding, say, 3-4 years ago. I'm buying in the dip, just like the majority of you are probably. I'm not selling it all ever until I see a number that I believe is going to change lives. Some of the YouTubers that don't even show their face are waiting at the end of the day when the stores close. And what happens is, in these pawn shops and jewelry shops or coin shops, they supposedly pull all their stuff off the shelves. Why would they do that? That doesn't make any sense. I can go just before they close at my favorite coin shop in my area, and they don't pull their inventory. This is something that YouTubers do. They lie to us. They get us to believe that this is going on and you're not going to be able to buy silver, so people better go out and get it today. Well, I think that day has been long gone, where you can buy a large amount of silver at any given time. I do see online purchasing bullion dealers. You can still buy silver, but nothing compared to what it was 3 years ago. You could buy all kinds of different things. It could be rounds, it could be silver eagles, it could be bars, all the way up to 1,000-ounce bars. But I wouldn't buy from a bullion dealer because there's going to be a paper trail of what you own or purchased at least. Doesn't mean you can't sell it after you buy it. But some say that there's plenty of silver out there. I would like to see it, not in my area at least. But and also not the bullion dealers that are online. You can check yourself. You'll see a lot of it is sold out, not available, whatever they want to, however they want to word it. So they're selling more of it. And on a dollar basis, they're making more money. But you could still buy silver for spot plus pretty good premium. The last dip, right around $70. I got a few ounces. We'll discuss how much, but it was about $5 over spot. So if they're saying they're buying it at spot, I highly doubt it. They're not trying to dump silver when silver, in my opinion, is very hard to find. Now, the paper game, they're blaming China for. And I believe that China is behind it. I believe that they're saying that this is such a small amount of collateral damage to run these prices to break the CME. China's prices are much higher than the CME or the COMEX, however you want to word it. The LBMA is still holding strong with CME. And those are large entities because of the naked shorting that's been going on. Now, if you look at what I have been reporting for probably the last several videos, the government now has proof positive that the SEC colluded with Wall Street entities to allow them to do illegal naked shorting or pretending or lying that they had stock for short on the stock market. They colluded, making hundreds of millions of dollars. This is absolutely disgusting to me, but I've known this. I've reported on this multiple times. The thing that shook me the most is that most people can't even understand, because for the first time in many years, many people's lives, and I've got a lot of hate for this, but I'm going to still stick with this. They're holding an asset that's going up in a bubble phase. This is a bubble phase. This is the paper versus physical. And I think that every single human on earth should own physical silver and physical gold. Not put all their money into it, but they need to become sovereign for their families. Just in case something happens, the dollar crashes and the dollar is no longer. You need something, especially another good thing to have is junk silver, 90%. Dimes and quarters pre 1964, where you have something to barter with. But they don't understand the concept of when it blows up in price to at least just pull back an initial investment. A lot of people will be held or will be holding the bag as price adjustments happen, because this is the paper game that the Hunt brothers got caught into. I don't know if you remember this story, where late 70s, early 80s, the Hunt brothers bought a lot of silver, and the price of silver went up to about $50. Now think about this right now. We've got people wanting to revolt on taxes. They're going to be either paying lots of money for the rest of their lives for fines and penalties with the IRS, or they're going to end up in jail because they don't know how the system really works, or they're going to be holding bags of things that at one point were worth a lot, but because it's the paper game, it's going to get smashed down. So for some reason, a lot of precious metal holders right now think they're smarter than the Hunt brothers, which were some of the richest guys in the country at the time, but they got caught into the paper market. Now I believe still that silver is going to be worth as much as an ounce of gold someday, but I also believe the XRP is worth $10,000 someday. My opinion. I know I'm going to get some haters on this one. I know it's only worth $2.17 today, but I do believe XRP is going to be part of our treasury along with Bitcoin, and there will be no longer, well, that's another story. We'll get into that another day. I'm definitely not selling my XRP. Definitely not selling any other Ripple product, coin. I'm definitely not selling silver and gold. Now during this part of the cycle, because this is the delusion, the phase when they're just diluting it because they're dumping a bunch on the market. Again, the paper game. It's not physical silver, but this is proof positive that CME is scared. They don't have the silver to meet the demand. They don't have the silver to meet the deliveries. They almost never had. Now they're requiring more collateral for short sellers to put up to be able to short this, which will create a physical demand, but not as much as people think. Am I a realist? I want to see 1 million people become millionaires from this channel, but I don't come from speculation and following the hype. It's trading human emotions and learning economic cycles. I'll talk about cycles and taxes, but I don't have a very in-depth knowledge of those. But sometimes I bring those things into silver, which I do have more knowledge with and experience with. Now my point being is that this is that time where people need to wake up to what's real. This is the paper rise, not physical rise. It's not a physical run yet. There will be a day, but I felt like today might be that day. It just jumped up almost $5 in one day. But I'm going to be honest with you. I think there's going to be more value in the near term in nickel than what you see in copper. And then what you see right now in physical silver. I also believe that they're going to be removing the nickel from our currency. They're going to stop that as well, along like they just did with the penny. But again, I'm a contrarian. Let's see who's right. I don't buy into the hype. You got things like AI now that's putting their opinions out. Well, I'm sticking to what I see. What's going on with physical silver versus the paper fake silver. Now, solar panel narratives and the new Samsung battery narrative, along with the military new contracts for missiles, they take a lot of silver. Nothing changes except China is squeezing the West right now. They are pricing silver much higher than the CME. And you'll notice that it's really not in the news. They'll cover it maybe, but not in depth. And that's why I am here. Silver hit an all-time high again today. Do you want to be part of the people that are happy because you own physical silver? Or are you going to be someone who has the paper silver or no silver? Because like I said, it's like over $94 an ounce of silver. Physical silver in your hand, not having anybody else hold it, store it, etc. No more fake paper silver. Don't do it. A lot of changes. Like I said in the very beginning of this, they're trying to do everything they can to keep the prices down. So let's try to have a great rest of our day. Thank you again for stopping in. Please hit the like, share button, and subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm trying to build this show, and I'd like to see, just from this show alone, give me up to 500 subscribers. That's not many. That's about 20, 25, I think, subscribers. That would be great. And leave a comment. Let me know what you believe. God bless.